I'm Marcia MacLeod. I'm Senior Vice President of Human Resources and Administration at WPX Energy. I'm a native Oklahoman, fifth generation. I have been extremely healthy my whole life, and I've done what I considered all the right things to do. I've tried to keep my weight. I run. I never did marathons, but I did 5Ks and 10Ks, and I always had relatively low blood pressure, and never ever thought that I've really never had any health problem. Never been in the hospital. And it was shortly after I had a car accident, which was not a serious car accident, that I knew that there was something not right with my body. Something was right. I didn't have the energy, I didn't have the stamina. They tried different medications, which typically just, I couldn't do my job because they so medicated me. And then it was at some point in time that my doctor's nurse called him out and said, "She has an arrhythmia. I can tell just by taking her pulse." And it was like, oh my gosh, how did I have a heart problem? And until I went back to this general cardiologist who said to me, you definitely have arrhythmia. And he said, I'm going to send you outside, where I normally send people. I'm going to send you to Dr. David Sandler at Oklahoma Heart Institute.
I remember our first meeting like it was yesterday. I remember looking at this extremely distinguished woman who had been so productive in her life, had been such a valuable member of Tulsa society with her volunteerism, and I remember looking in her eyes and knowing that she was extremely frustrated. And we don't do this often, but I remember promising her that within the next 6 months or so, I'm going to have her feeling well one way or another.
Such a blessing. I remember I was so frustrated, and I was sitting not very long in his office, and the people were so nice that took my pulse and gave me an EKG, and I'm sitting there waiting, just thinking this is going to be another doctor who's going to tell me why I'm not important.
Atrial fibrillation is the most common heart rhythm disorder in the world. It affects people in different ways. One of the biggest issues is that atrial fibrillation can lead to stroke. So identifying people who are at a high risk of stroke is really important, because we can provide them with blood thinners and maybe even procedures to help reduce that risk of stroke. For other people, the issue is trying to get rid of the symptoms of atrial fibrillation. So specifically with Marcia, she reported that when she was trying to do her work, staying late, she just couldn't concentrate. She was having the heart rhythm go out of whack. She was feeling the palpitation. She was very distracted by this, and you could tell the first time you met her that she was very frustrated. She had been used to conquering any task that was before her, and here she was, unable to really concentrate because of this irregular heart rhythm that she had. So,
women have to learn to be advocates for themselves here, because the medical community, not everyone has stepped up to that level of knowing that women have different symptoms, and they needed to be treated in a different way.
And she was one who didn't respond well to the medications, so we proceeded with catheter ablation. So we performed the catheter ablation at that point, and last I spoke to her, she hasn't had a single episode since.
No one knows your body any better than you know it, and it's up to you to be your own advocate. And that's easy for me to say, and I am blessed. I've got a great job with great health insurance. I've got the background to have been sort of trained to be an advocate. But sometimes being an advocate for yourself is very hard. But don't hesitate to speak up and continue to demand that someone find out what's wrong with you, because only you really know that there is something. And you just have to be your own best advocate. Well, I've been attending Go Red for Women for a number of years, and one, I always thought it was a terrific women's organization. It's a large group of women who very enthusiastically and have a lot of fun advocating for each other, whether they have had heart disease or not. So I truly enjoyed Go Red for Women luncheon. I enjoyed the education part of it. I enjoyed the fashion shows. I enjoyed the camaraderie with other women. And little did I know, that having been involved in it, that maybe one day the Heart Association maybe is doing something for me. And it just makes it that much more important to me that there's an organization as strong as the American Heart Association, especially here in Oklahoma, and that it is an advocate for women, and that together, we can learn from each other. Heart disease manifests itself in women in different ways than men. And it's getting better, but unfortunately in the past, men were really the target of all that research. And it's so important that women stand up for women, and women advocate for women, and realize that heart disease is not just a heart attack. It can be a stroke, it can be a fib, it can manifest itself in any number of ways that can cause issues for women in trying to raise their family, to work, and to live. And we've got to be there for each other.